uplifters and listeners? Welcome back to the channel. I am your host, Latrice, and we are full throttle into our transition series. Yes, we have been talking all things transitions, why they bother us, but why we need them, why God requires us to go through them, and all the things. And the Lord has just been highlighting so many different things to me about transitions. Even in my own life, I thought I had transitions down, y'all. I really did. But needless to say, God always shows us a way that we can continue to grow and learn, even when we think that we have mastered a certain topic or a certain area. So today we are going to keep going with transitions, and I'm going to share a couple of stories, but I really wanted us to talk about how we can best steward our transitional seasons and why we need to steward them, and why stewardship is required, why God needs that of us from our transition seasons. So again, transitions, they bring out this discipline in us that God needs in order for us to be able to go on to the next level. So it's not only that we need to build new skills and we need to adapt to the area that we are called into, but it's also how we're able to apply those new skills that God has given us, or how we're able to apply the wisdom and the tools and the resources that He has given us in a particular area. So, how are you stewarding the wisdom that God has given you in your transition season right now? Or think about in the past, how have you stewarded the resources and tools He has given you in the past when you've been in a transition? Have you been quick to dismiss them? Have you just thought, okay, Lord, well, I'm just learning it for right now, but when I get to my next place, I'm just going to throw it down and disregard it? Did you forget about the things that you picked up in the previous season? And if you did forget, did you find yourself in a sort of a wandering season where you just kept going in a cycle, in a circle? That remind y'all of anybody? Say hey to the Israelites, okay? Because they wandered in the wilderness for all that time, and their journey was delayed because of it. So we want to go ahead and steward what God has given us in our transition so we don't end up wandering like the Israelites. So I have a bit of a story time. I went to the doctor last week. It was just a regular checkup, and I was talking to my doctor. And if you know doctors, they have a way of asking you questions so they can get all the right information out of you, right? It's a certain way that they go about the conversation, their communication, where they're able to just pick up on certain words and things like that. Like, oh, like let's dive deeper into that and whatever and whatnot. It was just a follow-up that I had with some lab work. But my doctor, she wants me to start looking more closely at my sleeping habits, I should say, and wants to help me adjust those things. And she was asking me questions about my medication and if I noticed a change from my sleep and just overall in regards to the changing of my medication. And y'all, I honestly had to look at her and say, I don't really know. I don't really know, because I haven't taken inventory of the changes that might have happened in my body or to my mind or whatever, to say, oh yeah, like I have noticed a change in sleep, or I have noticed this change in my body from taking this. And the Lord spoke to me in that very moment, and He said, we need to start as a people, as a whole, taking an inventory of the things that were given. So I had the idea to start like a sleep journal so I can better track the patterns and the cycles that I'm having for my sleep, and so I can physically see, oh, okay, like see if there's a pattern there or if there's not. But it's just a way to tally and reflect on, oh yeah, like this is what's happening. And we need to start treating our lives like that in general. We need to start treating our journeys like this, our transition periods. Like, what is the Lord showing you? What tools did he give you? Have you been applying those tools? What patterns in your life are changing? Is your mindset changing? Like, do you feel better? It's the same way like you go to the gym. You need to keep track of, oh, well, my arms are sore, or I noticed I shredded a few inches here or there, or my endurance has gone up a little bit. I'm able to stay on the treadmill, run a little bit longer, stay on the weights. I'm able to lift a bit more in the gym. It's the same idea that, like with our medication, with the gym, adopting new habits. We need to be better stewards of those things. We can't just do them and not be able to track where we have progressed and also where we might have regressed, because we need to get to a point where we're able to be like, oh, wow, look how far I've come. Or we need to be able to assess, have I gone anywhere at all? Have I learned the lesson yet? Have I maxed out on this level? Have I reached the full potential that the Lord told me that I should have at this point before I'm even able to move on to the next? So we need to be taking that inventory. Whatever your regimen is, make sure whatever God is giving you that you are documenting it. That is how we become good stewards. And also our stewardship with our transition, it can tell God if we are even ready for the next level, because so many times we ask God for next. We ask him for the next big thing. We ask him to bless us, but we're not stewarding our now. So how is the Lord in his perfection, his wonderfulness, how is he going to bless us with our next? So we can't even enjoy and be grateful enough for what he's giving us now. Why would he waste oil like that? Why would he waste blessings like that for people that aren't going to be grateful? Now, of course, we have grace and mercy and all of that, but at some point we got to use wisdom, y'all. Like, the Lord is wise. He wouldn't just play around with his people like that. So we have to come into wisdom, come into agreement with his spirit that we will actually adopt the things that he has given us. We have to. Are we actually listening to what he's saying? Or are we just trying to get by and think that we're somehow conning God out of a blessing? He's waiting for us to not only listen, but again, actually apply what he's given us, the instructions he has given us. That way he knows that he can trust us. He can trust that we are adhering to his word, that we are applying our faith, because it's faith plus works. Faith plus works. And our works will show out our faith. So, stewardship. You need to steward where you are. Steward where you are. Don't be so fast to where you think you can just get through this level without taking care of what God needs you to take care of. It might be some grunt work, right? Like, I don't want to journal on my sleep habits. Like, who wants to do that? It takes an additional step to do it. But since I value my health, since I know the Lord has called me to value my health and to value what is going on with my body, to be paying attention, I have to take that next step. Okay, Lord, yeah, this matters to you. Therefore, I'm going to go ahead and put some things in place. Okay. And I'm going to make sure the next time I see my doctor, I can tell her, hey girl, yeah, so I did notice a difference. Maybe this medication isn't working. All right. Or I did notice a difference. I'm feeling better now. Or maybe there's something that needs to be tweaked along the way, but can I adhere to the wisdom of my doctor? That's another lesson in authority too. Can you listen to the authority in the area that you're in for the transition? Ooh. That's another topic, y'all. I can't go too deep into that. But since my doctor is the authority, I'm going to yield to that authority because the Lord told me to, as long as it doesn't go against anything that he's asked me to do, right? Again, topic for another day. But that wraps up this here episode on Lift Her Up TV. I hope it was a blessing for you guys. We are going to be posting a bunch more content. Thank you for all your likes, shares, subscribes. I am so excited for where the channel is going. Make sure if you have a question, you can email me at latriceliftherup@gmail.com. I love you all. And until next time, remember to stay encouraged. Bye.